Hello everyone, this is Sachin Samant, your UK immigration lawyer. Today I am going to talk about 10-year long residence applications, and there is a recent change that has been made in the guidance. It has been made very quietly. Home Office has a habit of doing it. Uh, on 12th of April, the new guidance has been published, 12th April 2023, and it's quite a very important change that they have made, which individual applicants are not aware of. Especially, they have taken out. So, what is 10-year long residence? Anyone who has lived in the UK lawfully for a period of 10 years can apply for long residence ILR, indefinite leave to remain, that is permanent residence, on the basis of being living in the UK for the last 10 years. And they could include any type of visa applications. They could even have visitor in the past. However, that important thing, that is Appendix V, if you have visitor leave in the 10 years, you cannot count towards the lawful residence. So the way the definition is, you should be lawfully resident in the UK for a continuous period of at least 10 years to qualify for indefinite leave to remain on long residence under the 10-year lawful route. So you have some type of visa, leave to remain, leave, leave to enter, permission to stay in the new wordings that they're using. And in the past, I have myself done, our firm has done several applications where individuals had come to the UK in between the 10-year period. They may have several visas, student visas, uh, maybe intra-company transfer visas, etc., which would not by themselves qualify them for indefinite leave to remain. Maybe dependents, they kept on switching, etc. But in their own right, they may not have the option to apply for ILR. And I have myself done several cases where in between the individual had come to the UK on a visitor entry or a visitor visa. However, this is the most important one. Even till this change happened, even we used to advise, even I used to advise clients saying, yes, even during the 10-year period, if you have come to the UK even as a visitor, that can be counted towards the lawful residence. They call it raw lawful residence. So now with this change in the guidance, you will see it somewhere towards the end. It is there in the guidance, and they have if you want to search in the guidance, you should search for Appendix V. It will come there only, or maybe Appendix short-term student or Appendix temporary worker. So these are the three types of visas. If you have spent time in this, you cannot count these towards the long residence, lawful residence of 10 years. So many times clients come to us, they say, oh, last 10 years I have been living in the UK. They have several categories. It may be student, ICT, maybe dependent, switching into different categories, etc. But and sometimes they also have visitors. So if they don't have any leave, they would come to the UK for 6 months period and try to buy time or build up the 10-year period. But this is very, very important going forward. You cannot use the visitor route. You cannot just apply for a visitor, come here. You can do that, but doing that will break your lawful residence. That period cannot be counted towards your lawful residence. And they have specifically referred to Appendix V. So their intention is, since the simplification of the immigration rules sort team, so there is a big overhaul of the immigration rules going on. We call it sort, simplification of the immigration rules, where everything started going into appendices. So it's called as Appendix V, Appendix skilled worker, Appendix student, Appendix graduate route. Everything is in appendix format, appendices. So they have only said from the point the Appendix V started. So before this, it wasn't Appendix V. There were visitor immigration. There were different names. So whatever they were. So from the point the Appendix V started, I think they are trying to exclude that. So if before this period, before the Appendix V started, you had the visitor leave, that can be counted towards the 10-year lawful residence. Only exclusion is anything under the new appendices. So under the simplification of immigration rules, if you got your visitor visa, if you got a visitor visa under Appendix V, or you got a short-term student visa. So short-term student is about 11 months or less. Usually students come to study English language in that area. So even that cannot be counted towards the lawful residence. So this is the second one. So first one is any category of visitor. So visitor means it can be marriage visitor, people come and get married in the UK. It can be just tourist visitor. It can be just business visitor. It can be any visitor. So the visitor area covers all types of visitors where the leave is granted for a period of 6 months. The visa may be stamped for 2 years, 10 years, doesn't matter. We don't care about that. The point is the leave at any time the person enters the UK, the leave, the permission to enter is given only for 6 months. It is never given beyond over the 6 months. So that is called as Appendix V. So if you have that leave, then that cannot be counted towards your lawful residence. Be mindful of that. It may break your continuous residence if it goes into the so for the long residence you need at least 180 days. You cannot be out of the UK for a continuous period of 6 months. So if you just came to the UK for a period of 6 months or so, you would have definitely broken your continuous residence, and you may have to start counting thereafter, after this one, whichever leave you got. Secondly, if you came to the UK on a student visitor visa, so student visa, short-term student, it's called a short-term student. It's used mainly for coming to the UK and learning English language. There are English language courses up to between 6 months to 11 months. So that is what the period it is usually given. This cannot be counted towards the lawful residence. This is the second one. The third one is seasonal worker. There are other temporary workers. So there is temporary worker, creative, temporary worker, sports person, etc., etc. But only seasonal worker. Seasonal worker is the one which was being introduced. It came into play after the Brexit thing, towards the end of the transition period, when UK needed many EU workers to come temporarily and work and then go back. So that was the pattern before Brexit. So this seasonal worker scheme came into play around when the Brexit thing, when the EA regulations, which was the law before Brexit, that ended, and the new EUSS came into play, EU settlement scheme. So this was mainly with the goal of European workers coming for fruit picking, strawberry picking, etc. to the UK. So several other jobs. That's just one example. So coming as a season wise. So if there is a fruit picking season, they come and they go. So that's called a seasonal worker. So even that period cannot be counted as a lawful residence. So these are three main changes that have been taken out. The main killer is the Appendix V, that is very, very important. We had done a lot of applications where through in between the 10-year period, at some point the applicant had come as a visitor, and now that is not possible. Remember, you cannot count Appendix V, visitor, entry, visa, etc. towards your 10-year lawful residence to qualify for indefinite leave to remain. For your specific case, for any advice on this, whether you came under Appendix V or previous visitor or anything else like that, at what point can start a recount towards the 10 years. You may start your 10 years again if it happened towards the initial stages of your leave, initial stages of your 2 years, something like that. So anything you want to plan your 10 years of long residence, do book a consultation with us. The links will be down below. And do subscribe to our channel if you like this video, and ask any questions, comments if you have in this, or you can also do follow us on this channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you may follow us on TikTok. We also put all our videos on TikTok as well. And yes, if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and click on the bell icon for any notifications. We do publish videos almost every week nowadays. So yes, you will get the notification henceforth. And thank you very much for watching this video.